What's hacking? It's quacking, and welcome back to our episode. And it's a travesty, guys. It's a travesty. E3 is officially over. A lot of people have been saying this for a while, but it's the truth in this case now. E3 has officially announced that they are no longer going to be existing anymore, and it's certainly unfortunate. For the past few years, E3 has really been going downhill, and it's certainly unfortunate considering. It's unfortunate as well, thanks to that, little known thing I don't think any of us really want to talk about too much. I'm not going to mention, you probably know what I'm talking about, kind of like a thing happening in the whole wide world, but, that was essentially a final nail in the coffin. There are some other controversies I'm not going to talk about as well with the platform, platform, that's totally, I guess, what that is now. No, that's not what E3 is. I guess in that case, you might as well talk about, for those who don't know, E3 was an event that was held for the past multitude of years where people subjected themselves to game advertising, or I guess in this case, a lot of people would say, the second Christmas, where there would just be all kinds of game companies, Square Enix, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, I don't know, Bungie, I guess, yeah, all kinds of game studios with all kinds of games. People would just go crazy, and there was all kinds of reactions just posted online of just, Super Smash Bros. Melee, all these games like Zelda Twilight Princess, Final Fantasy VII Remake, you name it. If it was a game that people were looking forward to, you probably expected to see a hype reaction online. And I myself have a lot of different just great memories with E3. I remember when I got my first job, there was just I was able to take the day off, and thankfully I was able to watch E3, I think it was, in like the later 2010s. And I was pretty happy just to be able to get to see it, considering I saw it for, I think, 6, 7, maybe 8 years since then. I'm not that great with math. I think my first E3 was E3 2012. That, or, yeah, it was 2012, because I remember my 3DS, they had a little application called Swap Note, and Nintendo was sending out things about, like, oh, you can check out, E3, we got all these cool games coming out, releasing. Paper Mario Sticker Star, and Luigi's Mansion 2, or and then now it became Dark Moon. Crazy to think there's a remake of that game. There was Pikmin 3, and all these really cool games and stuff. I thought that was pretty freaking cool. Honestly, it might even been E3 2011. I would have to look back on this about when those games were revealed. I'm pretty sure they were also shown again if they were revealed in 2011 and in 2012. But I remember it was either 2011 or 2012, and I got to experience, I'm pretty sure, about 10 E3s. And in 2020, that's when the unfortunate news happened, to where E3 had to stop for a little while, and then it came back in 2021. And I remember seeing that one, and there was some really cool stuff announced, but it was a digital-only event. And then, 2022, it was canceled. 2023 it was as well. And now here we are, unfortunately. E3 is officially not going to be coming back. And there has been some, I guess, things that fill that void, like, the Game Awards and Summer Games Fest. But, other than that, it just isn't the same, really. Digital events, no, like, in-person kind of feel, and it's unfortunate because that was something I would have liked to go to someday in person. Check that out, just see all the amazing stuff. But times are changing. It's weird to think that we haven't really seen as many just events like this anymore. There are still things like events that happen, like Tokyo Game Show, and some events in Europe as well. But E3 was like the creme de la creme of just in-person game events, and of course it didn't really become that as much. Nintendo switched to like a digital presentation, I think it was like 2013, and now I myself, even though I was pretty young at the time, I thought that was pretty controversial, because even though I only saw like 1 or 2 E3s at the time, I really liked that kind of like that on-stage press conference kind of thing, and maybe that was for the best, considering it does kind of seem boring, because I remember as a kid I was just like, yeah, I don't know, like, I just kind of, like, liked something, even though I know logically I didn't like it. I just kind of like staring at, some guy just going off on Wii Music or something, or whatever. But, in this case, it certainly is unfortunate seeing that E3 is, it's over. And who knows, maybe someone could take up the torch someday. I know there have been different facets, like, things like Nintendo Power have gone out. And there's been like Nintendo Force coming back to try to reignite that flame, that nostalgia, bring it back for everyone. But there's just been a lot of different memories. I remember there was like the E3 Miiverse communities I really enjoyed at the time. I think I still have my posts saved from that from Miiverse. There was just a whole bunch of fun in-game demos at E3, the lines, the waits, all that kind of stuff. And it really has taken just it's an end of an era in a sense. Gaming, this world is changing. Physical media, E3, streaming services, all these things. It certainly is a scary thought, but on the bright side, it's something we can't take away as our memories, and we can share things like we are today about just our fun times with E3. Even if we didn't get to experience it in person, we got to see it online and just watch all these other people that were able to experience it in person, and just know that this is something that we were able to share in one way or another, whether it be digital, in person, or now in this case in the past. But yeah, with that being said, let me know any of your E3 memories down below. I myself, it was a pretty special just event for myself. Honestly, I'm a little torn by the news. That's why I'm kind of flabbergasted. So it's weird to think this is the case. To me, honestly, I thought it was. I mean, the writing was already on the wall. That's been said plenty of times at E3. Has unfortunately it's gone downhill. You really aren't going to see something like it again. And I guess there's things like Summer Games Fest by Jeff Keighley, who also has the Game Awards. But the Game Awards are. I like to think Summer Games Fest is a little better than the Game Awards, but still though, at this point, I remember there was a friend I had. Last thing I will say is they're saying something like, it's kind of sad that we didn't have E3, and now we have to go through this stuff with the Game Awards. Like, this is kind of sad, he was saying that about how you just kind of saw it was kind of garbage. No offense to people like the Game Awards. Maybe we'll make a talk about that Sunday about that. But they said it was kind of sad how we were just so desperate for E3 stuff that we had to go through with that. But with that being said, then hope you have a great rest of your day, and I gotta go take a shit.